Alright, this is going to be the intro video to cryo sectioning. So here I'm just going to go through all the mechanics and all the walkways of what to do, what things are for, and so forth. So I already turned it on, so basically you're just going to press and hold this key, and then you'll see this screen and these buttons light up. When you hold to turn off, it's the same thing. You press hold, and then they should turn off, and then that's how you know. Here's the glass door window that uses to enter the actual space. Turn on the light feature. We'll turn it on right there. But essentially, this is going to be a pretty straightforward walkthrough of showing you what different parts do. So this is the universal cryostat brush that we use to basically help clean and help get the sections onto the actual slide. So just to walk through, this is your chuck holder right here. You can actually open it by turning this, and that will actually tighten this chuck, so that way these little chuck will actually stay in place. So if you open it, it will fall in, lock it, and that thing's not coming out. So pretty straightforward. That is where you will mount all your tissue, so it makes it very straightforward. To adjust it, once you have this tightened, right, to whatever degree, then you're going to turn this back lock up, which will open it, which will allow you to then actually turn this left or right. That's left and right. It's kind of hard to see. It's small, precise movements. So the left and right function, as you can see back there, I'll probably show you a little bit. It's going to show you back here. Oh, there it is. So this one will be left and right, and this one will be up and down right here. So yeah, it'll be pretty straightforward in terms of that. And that is controlled by this little beautiful wheel, as you can see. So this is off, that's on. This will keep a safety measure, keep it on, and this will, as you spin, this thing will rotate. Pretty straightforward. So that is the pedal. I will explain that probably a little bit. But most likely, what's going to happen next is that you're going to want to load your glass. There's various pieces of glass that you can add to this roll plate holder. That's what essentially the glass does. For example, here's a piece of glass. We actually have our own, but this is one that's actually always on the cryostat. So essentially you're just going to open it up, loosen it up, slide it in, lock it, keep it from moving, and voila. Right. From here you can actually go down and actually turn it, adjust it, and so forth. So this will actually bring it up, if you can see a little bit, and then this way we'll bring it down and tighten it. So this is the spring that will control most of that and help keep it secure. So the goal is to keep this as flat as possible. You want this to stay as lined up as you possibly can. Any bad angling will deteriorate your slice or ruin the speed or ruin a lot of things if this isn't properly mounted correctly. So that's pretty straightforward. This is the blade holder, so you can put these to the side. Those are blade protectors, so you don't like hit yourself, because the blade will usually probably be pretty long. So this is a little blade holder. So just keep this to the side. See, that's not angled. There we go. So usually it's probably, okay, that's actually mounted correctly. And now these little side ports will actually help you increase and decrease. So this will help keep everything a little more secure. This will help you align it once you have the actual blade on. I actually don't have one on right now, but essentially what it's going to do is just stop and guide you through this. So this will turn the little screws on the bottom that will actually help you keep it straight. So exhibit A, exhibit B. So that's pretty straightforward. Yeah. So next what's going to happen is you're going to slice your blade, you insert your blade, and I will show you how to line that later once I get one. But essentially that's it. This is a little two parts that will be used to mount your section, your brain onto this. So chuck, meat hole, holds it, right, and then you will pull your OCT on this, and then it'll actually get solid, and then you add the tissue, and then voila. Right. You are technically done at that point. So that makes it pretty straightforward. Okay. Next part. All right, let's explain some of these mechanics. So this is a little interesting. What's going to happen is that this first keypad will control the pedal, as I mentioned before. So now that we kind of get the general idea of what's going on here, I want to actually switch to the pedal. So the pedal is actually going to be one of the best tools you'll ever have because it makes sectioning way easier. So this is the different features you have. You have one which will tell you, oh, if you press it once, it will continue to spin. So let me just give you a little example. So take your safety off. Voila, it's ready to go. So basically you press it. So right now it's just constantly going. Right, so as long as my foot's on the pedal, it will rotate. The minute I take it off, it stops. As you can see. And then 2 is different. 2, I think, is it will automatically go once you click it once. And see, it will continue to spin as you control it to. And then you press it again to stop. Bam. Right. You can switch to 3, which is my personal favorite. This one is the one where it will do one full slice and then stop on its own. So as click, let's finish, and then click again, and it will do one complete slice, as you can see, and then stop. So that's my personal favorite. It keeps it very straightforward. I don't have to ever deal with thinking of multiple things at once. Just click it once and let it go. And this little dial right here will actually reduce the speed or increase the speed of the spin. So I never go past 50. I usually keep it around there. And that was the speed you just saw, but if you want to speed it up to like 75, you see the speed, right? So speed is going to be very important for cutting. It will actually help determine whether you get a good section or a messed up section. So as you can see, these are some of the examples of what you would find, right? Section, and yeah, so that's string mass now. So you can easily tear it if you go too fast, if it's not cold, so forth. This is a trim feature, which I'll probably explain in the next video once we actually get like a sample on here. But anyways, to finish off, before you even start any of this, something you want to focus on is the temperature. So right now, the chuck temperature is 19, and the outside temperature is like 20, right? So this is optimal cutting temperature, standardized, but we actually cut a little colder. So set temp OT, you go down to -25, vice versa. Boom. CT down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Done. So once you set your temperatures, you rotate it through back to time. Okay. Then that way you can actually, go about your day. From here it takes about 20, 15, 30 minutes, not inch, to actually drop down to that temperature. As you can hear the compressor in the background, it's working to pump cold air in, take out all the hot air, stuff like that. So it's pretty straightforward. But this will, so O2 temperature is already ready, right? That's ready. But CT will usually take some time, and the longer you leave this open, right, the cold air escapes, and then it makes it a lot harder to actually keep maintaining temperature. So keep this as close as often as you need. Only open it when you absolutely need to. I actually tend to keep it pretty close, and I work under. So as you can see, my hand will kind of just slide in, and I can focus on getting things done or organizing it. So make sure that's ready before you actually start. So normally you can just come down 10, 15 minutes before and actually get this started. So it's pretty straightforward. And then once to leave, essentially what you do is you would switch back, increase the temperature back to 25. Boom. Boom. There. And then to turn off, you would go back to this time and let it go back, and then press and hold to turn off. There we go. Light goes off, lights are off, lights are off, lights are off. You can still turn off the light here, as you can see. Maybe not. So I think it has to be on, that's why. But always make sure this is off. There's actually a handy notebook here that you're gonna actually be able to go in, and you can see different people's when they logged. Right, Shirley's been on here a lot, Lorraine's been on here, I've been on here a few times. So basically fill this out whenever you're done. That way you can make sure you properly clean everything. So each person must fill this out, which is pretty straightforward. just making sure you have your lab, what time you were in, is the lock handled, are the samples put away, blade removed, ethanol, utensils on tray, set to -20 and light off. So just make sure you stay on top of this. It's kind of be annoying at times, but it really just preserves the length and the integrity of the instrument, because it's very expensive. And if it breaks, we're all screwed. So yeah, and here's a little pop-up that Sam printed out. So if you ever need more advice, contact Sam. He's in charge of it. So if the compressor ever goes out or it's not working, just hit up Sam and he can let you know. And yeah, so I'm gonna turn this back on and set the temperature so I can come back and set a brain. So there we go, lights on, lights on, lights on. All right, so now I'm gonna set the temperature back. So yeah, once that finishes up, I'm going to, bam, ready, and then we're all set to set our brain. So let me go grab a blade and then we'll finish this right now.